Okay, so let's create something. Do we have any applications? My apps. Yeah. So let me try to use this app, WhatsApp business app, and let's go to the dashboard and configure our WhatsApp. So I guess it's already configured. Yeah, here it is. But yeah, let me go from the starting. So initially we'll have to create a application, select the business, go next, give a name of the app. So let's say, let's build this OpenAI ChatGPT bot. ChatGPT WhatsApp. We cannot use WhatsApp here. Like we cannot name the meta products inside our app name. There's a limitation for that. ChatGPT WhatsApp bot. And we can select our business account and create. All right. So now we have to configure two things. One is WhatsApp and one is webhooks. So let's configure the WhatsApp. Initially, it gives us, I think something is changed. Send see, get set up, cloud, adding a phone number. Okay, that's fine. Let me configure this one as well. Okay, it's already added down below. So let's read the documentation for that WhatsApp API, like what events we have to subscribe, like based on, for example, we have to get, okay, before that, let's see the documentation. And before we set up callback URL, we have to get something set up here in the WhatsApp. So start using, and here we have some temporary access token given, and some test number is also provided. Let's select a phone number, and that should say that should get me a message. Let me check. This is just setting up the application, and it has sent me a hello world message. Like it's just a template we define in WhatsApp. Basically, it's defined somewhere here, maybe. Not sure exactly where it is defined. Configure webhooks. I think yeah, it is defined in Meta Business Suite, those templates. But yeah, that's fine. I have just received a welcome message on my WhatsApp number. And now we come to know that
There's
it
an
is.
option. Click here. There you can modify that.
Yeah,
Just
correct.
above that.
Yes. And yeah, it's correct. It's a business suite where we define the templates. And we can create a few more templates. And let me show you the message that I have received. This is the message I got. This was a title. It was in bold, and this was the body of that message. And now that was first step is cleared, second step is cleared. I'm able to receive messages. Now we have to configure webhook. Before configuring webhook, we have to first see what is this required. So I have already written some piece of code long back. Let me download that first. This market here will work here.
Yeah.
That clone, get clone. So basically, it was a EchoBot template that I had used from Microsoft Bot Framework, and here's the controller that I had created. It's just a API controller where this particular application, whatever the port or endpoint this is running on, this will be my endpoint for the API controller, this WhatsApp API. So the challenge, basically, this is a verified token. We have to set it in our meta developer page, and that will be validated up here. Okay. So yeah, let's run this one. Before running, let me configure that ng-raw. Let's run. Let me put a breakpoint here. Okay. And now let's, do we need anything? Create a custom webhook. Let's see. I doubt we don't need access token as of now. Yeah, we don't need it as of now. When we are sending the message, that then only we need. So let's configure our webhook. So I'll go to my webhooks, subscribe to event, callback URL, and WhatsApp. And my verified token is hello from JD. Let's see if we hit something. No. Wait a second. The URL has been identified malicious. Ah, okay. Let's try to deploy this and check whether we are able to send something. Before that, let me configure this piece, that is this one. What is that? Access token. Okay. And let's see if I can deploy it directly from here. Publish, publish to Azure. Let's use this guy. And we have to configure. No, we need not configure the Azure bot because this has nothing related to Azure bot. We just have a very simple API project with the endpoint. Is it done? It's still going on. Okay, so let's copy this one and try again up here in the controllers, this webhooks. Okay, that worked. So it was able to authenticate with my web API. And now let me, okay, yeah, we have to configure this events. Basically this subscription, like what all needs to be accessed from my application. For example, I can access this many things from my application, but what we need is only the send message. So what is the name of that subscription? Let's see here. Webhooks. And where is that documentation? Okay, so till here we are done. Verify and save. Yeah, here it is. Accounts alert, message template status. Where is accounts alert? Maybe I'm in the wrong one. Okay, this is webhook, which is the one WhatsApp business account. I did not configure the WhatsApp one. I configured something else. So I had to select this one. Is this correct? I'm doing it correct. Let me come from here. That will be.
WhatsApp page itself. Yeah.
Is that WhatsApp correct? Let me configure
So just
from.
scroll down there at the option.
Yeah. Okay. I just. Okay. This is the right place, I guess. Yeah. API slash WhatsApp. And hello from JD. Verify and save. And yeah, it worked. Okay. So this one we have to configure. Accounts alert. What's the next guy? Message template, messages and phone number. Message templates, messages and phone number. Security and template performance matrix. Security and template. Okay, done. So we are subscribed to those events. Now that is done, then test. Okay, now let me try to send something in my WhatsApp. Let me see if I get some messages. Hi. Okay, I am getting echo hi. Let me show you on the screen. Okay, here you see, I just sent hi and let me send hello. And there we have echo hello. So currently it's just a echo bot that we have created. And let me share this screen again.
Yes, sir.
So this piece of code that is used to validate our webhook, just now what we did on the meta developer, this one, callback URL and verify token. So this piece of code is written to validate that. So these three properties are being sent from the Facebook developer. And along with that, we are just verifying that and sending as a response back, whether it is successful or whether it is failed, right? And now for all the other inputs from that application from Meta. So this thing, we will get the input like this. So basically it's a long JSON body that we'll be getting. And I'm just retrieving these three values, that is body, from where the message is sent from, and what's the phone number. Basically, this is the, I think, phone number ID. Yes, something ID is a unique ID for that phone number. And this is, we are sending the message back to the recipient using this simple API call. This access token we had received from the Meta developer page here. This is a temporary access token. This like expired in every 24 hours. If we want to make it permanent, we have to publish this application. Currently, it is in development mode. Here you see app mode is development. So if we make it live, yeah, and there's just a very simple API call. So here's the phone number ID messages, and this is the body message that I'm sending back to the screen. So what I'll do, so let me get that message. Where is the message? Yeah, and where I'm getting this message, this guy. So this is the place where I'm getting the message. Let me call the ChatGPT guy. Let's use the new one. Mm, 2 days back, OpenAI has released this ChatGPT API. So that name is Chat Completion. And this is what we'll be calling. Let's format, where's that API documentation? Chats. And this is my endpoint. So let's configure everything in app settings. Currently, it is not configured there. So chat completion. Okay. And API key. Here I'll get the API key. And we also have to get those values. Meta WhatsApp. Currently, we are hard coding those guys in this code itself. Let's get it not hard coding, access token. And let me remove this guys from here, access token, and put it here. Okay, so let's configure this one. We have to call iConfiguration and configuration. Let's import and let's add here as well. All right, so now we can call those guys from here. Basically configuration. And what was the key that I have provided? Meta WhatsApp. And so if it is object, you can separate it using the colon like this, colon and its value. Okay, so that seems to be fine. Now we were calling our open API from here. So let's create a new method. Mm, let's say string response, response from chat GPT. Await call chat GPT. And here we will be passing our message, and that is all. So let's create a method out of this. So let's make this async, and in this method we'll be calling our ChatGPT. So I think we already have code piece for that somewhere. OpenAI ChatGPT bot. This uses the completions API, but we'll be changing that to ChatGPT API. So yeah, this is the whole method. Okay, and instead of in this input prompt, we'll be sending message, and this one will be calling our chat completion endpoint. OpenAI chat completion endpoint and open API key. Let's get that. Ah, okay, let me get it from here only. Web QA open with somewhere here. This guy. Alright. So this piece is configured. Now let's see the documentation of OpenAI, this ChatGPT, what input is required. So we have given this endpoint, it's a post request. This authorization also we have given. Now the model. So how it will look like. So it is a parameter and that's a message data. Okay, it's a JSON body. Okay, let's copy this and paste it here. Yeah, so our model is GPT 3.5 Turbo and messages, role, user, content, and this is the place where we'll be modifying our content. That is message. Yeah. So if you have some doubt like what exactly is this, let me show you the example. Maybe somewhere chat completion. So that how you must have used the chat GPT, right? So how it remembers the state, and now they have released this API. So you can put your all your previous messages so that it remembers and give you response based on that. So here system, your helpful assistant, use this is what user said, this is what assistant said, and this is again what user said. And now what should be assistant saying at the next is the input. So this is our input and it gives us some response here. That role is assistant and this is what assistant has replied. Okay, so now since in our case we are just having just one-to-one communication without any state management as of now, and yeah, that is all. And yeah, we have to now configure the output, like when this API is called we get some response back, and that response we have to parse it. So this is the kind of response that we will be receiving. So our message is here. So it is inside choices. We are inside choices, and that's the first index, correct? We are just checking if it is null. And then inside that message, we need to get message. And inside message, we have to get the content. All right, so here we will get the response from the chat GPT. Okay, so this seems to be fine. Now let's call it. Before that, let's deploy it because the local ngrok will not work. We have to deploy it again in order to test this out. Let me use the same published profile. Deployment status pending. Okay, it is deployed. Let me connect back my mobile device. Share screen. Share. Okay, so let's say hi for now. We had to make few more changes. We forgot, but let's see what's the output. It will not be anything. Let me share back my screen. Okay. So after we have received some response from ChatGPT, and how do we find if it has failed or passed? We have no way as of now, unless this supports the live debugging. Let's do one thing. Let's write it on console. So let me control X, control V. Let's save that response here. Response from chat GPT. Okay. And here as well. Error from chat GPT. Okay. And so response, and let's remove this echo for now. Okay. I think that should be fine. And let's print something here as well. Error from WhatsApp. Okay, let's deploy it again. I got it. What should be the issue? The reason being, this is in app settings for development. We have to move that to app settings. Otherwise, we have to configure that directly on the app service itself. So let's save and deploy again. Okay, that is also completed. Let me say hi to the bot. Come on, it should reply something. By the time, let me open Azure and see the logs from there. So how we can check the logs? We have this option called as log stream. Okay, since it is disabled, let's enable that. Let's go to diagnostic settings, not diagnostic, app service logs, and enable this guys. Not log, file system, on, save. And yeah, now let's go back to log stream and see. Okay, let me say something in the chat. What is it? Max tokens I have given in the code. Text, message, content, turbo, message, and AI, chat completion. This seems to be fine. Okay, let's see. Let's see the logs. Okay, we have something received. So configuration element message line first. Okay, this is sending it is 443 and EchoBot 204. Yeah, we are getting response back. Let me send something again. Okay, now I'm getting the response. Let me share my screen. Yeah, I think it takes time to restart the application. Okay, so I said hello and it replied me, hello there, how can I assist you today? So let's say, let's ask something about what is bot framework. Why it's not replying? Let me check the logs. Is it taking that much time? Let's see. Open AI. Let's ask something else. Okay, it is replying for hi, hello. How can I assist you today as an AI language model? Okay, something is wrong. It is replying for hi, hello, greetings, but it's not replying me for any other response. In that case, let me get this. Let me change to collections completions API and see whether this replies me back or not. So let me change that to completion, and here also I need to modify the body content. So here I just change that to the completions API just to verify whether this is working or not. And let me deploy that. I think it's deployed. Let me check it here. Okay, the deployment is still happening. It might take a couple of minutes. Okay, now we are getting it ready. Let's say hello. This is not replying. So 443 204, that is going to our bot, but it is not replying it back. Let's see. Let me enable this one, diagnostic settings, to view the exact error message. So HTTP logs, app service console, application logs, and then to log analytics workspace. I think that will be fine. Yep. Okay, this seems to be fine. Let's name it as WhatsApp logs. What is this? 760. Let's open this guy. log analytics workspace. Seven six D issues. Azure resources and app exception. So this should get me all the logs. Let's say something to the bot. Okay, here we have some data. And what is the time now? UTC 6:38, 6:35. Is that the correct project? Yep, that's the correct one. Request finished. Missing activity or activity type. Okay. Route matched. Request finished. That's okay. Executed endpoint. Okay, that's fine. We can see this later and find it out what's the issue in our next session. All right, at least we know it is working for hi hello, but not for everything. Okay, yeah, we can close. We are already up the time. Thanks, everyone.